report entitled Stress Takes a Toll on Health and Family, published by the National Public Radio in July 7th of 2014. 1 in every 4 Americans are stressed. 60% of people in poor health report high stress levels. I've done extensive research to bring this topic to you, including looking at articles from the American Institute of Stress. I did a survey with this class, and they reported that 75% of this class currently own a pet, and 85% have owned a pet at some point in their life. I am going to try and convince you that owning a pet can actually be good for your overall health and well-being due to that it helps reduce stress. In this speech, we're going to talk about the stress problem in America, what actually draws us to owning a pet, the psychotherapeutic benefits of owning a pet, as well as the cardiac benefits of owning a pet. Before I can explain to you how pets are beneficial to our mental health and our physical health, you first need to understand the impact of stress on America and the terrors of taking medications such as Xanax and Valium. Everyone experiences stress at some point in their life. In an article entitled What is Stress, published on January 4th, 2017 by the American Institute of Stress, they define stress as a condition or feeling experienced when a person perceives that their demands exceed the personal and social resources that an individual can mobilize. What this means is when somebody feels like they can't do any more, it starts becoming stress. Time magazine has actually listed stress as the #1 leading health problem in America. Stress can be linked with cardiac disease such as heart attacks and risk factors for coronary diseases. Anxiety is brought on by fear or worry. Essentially, anxiety and stress are two different adjectives for the same thing. Both are brought on by a chemical reaction within our brains. According to the American Institute of Stress 2017 statistics, stress can be caused to many Americans by the future of our nation, money, work, and crime. Stress has also cost many employers over $300 billion in health care and time off. Prescription drugs such as Valium and Xanax are often used to help reduce stress. Many people misconceive both Xanax and Valium as antidepressants when they're actually known as benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines are very dangerous because they have horrible side effects such as seizures, dizziness, and basically hypnotic and addictiveness. Benzodiazepines can cause people to be sedative, so that's one of the reasons they use Valium to help people in mental institutions and jails, such as where I work, to calm down, who are having like psychotic episodes that they need to calm down. And that's why Xanax can also cause people to be sleepy too. It's one of the more dangerous prescription drugs. They're also about just as highly addictive as heroin. On the addictive scale, Xanax and Valium fall up there with Class 3, Schedule 3 drugs such as heroin. According to the Citizens Commission on Human Rights report entitled Benzodiazepines Can Cause Dementia and Other Symptoms, published April 1st, 2013, studies show that drugs such as Xanax and Valium can actually cause dementia within patients and lead up to risk factors for dementia. Benzodiazepines are also 4 times more likely to cause premature death than any other prescription drugs. Now that you understand how taking these medicines can be extremely dangerous and unhealthy, let's discuss why owning a pet. We're going to eventually discuss why owning a pet can be beneficial and be a good substitute. But first, you need to know what draws us to our pets. From birth, we form an attachment. The first attachment we form is to our mothers. We later form an attachment to other members of our family, and it basically ends with a life partner such as a husband, wife, a spouse of some sort. I know some people don't even get married. We eventually develop social bonds as well through work, through school, and we develop friendships. Um, we also form a bond later in our lives with our children. But this is a different kind of bond due to the fact of instinct versus nurture. Pets can often be used as a substitute for children due to the fact that they rely heavily on us. Um, so that's why most people use pets instead of who can't have kids adopt pets, and that's how they become a part of our families. Pets often are good for our self psychology. According to Elizabeth Anderson in the 2008 book Powerful Bonds Between Pets and People, Our Boundless Connections to Our Companion Animals, self psychology functions on three basic needs: mirroring, which is our need to feel understood and appreciated; idealizing, which is our need to feel stable and attached; and our alter ego, which helps us identify with others. Dogs act as our psychology, and actually self psychology and our self object, which is what dogs can be about, um, help feed, is like oxygen for our psyche. Um, Dogs often help us see how we see the world. They help us reflect on what's going on and how we see the world, as well as how we want to present ourselves to the world. Now that you understand how we form our pet or our our bonds, let's talk about the benefits. Think back to your childhood. More than half of my audience stated that they owned a pet during their childhood. Dogs often act as a second guardian or a substitute sibling, which is the psychotherapeutic value of animals. Kids often see their animals as a companion, a defender, and a source of learning. According to Barry Gunter and Adrian Fernham in the book entitled Pets and People: The Psychological Benefits of Pet Ownership in 1999, pets help responsibility and minimize the impact of emotional trauma. And this can either be through the death of a pet, the death of others, helps prepare for the death of others, and can help be a source of emotion, like source of support for deaths such as parental deaths. Um, Pets also help with social interaction for withdrawn kids and patients in mental hospitals. There are also programs that involve animals for people, such as institutionalized people. There's the Pets in Prison programs where they let pets be in prison to help them feel a source of companionship. Um, Pets in mental hospitals. There was once a story about a small bird that helped a patient speak in a mental hospital. Um, and then, of course, your animal assistance service program, which is your guide dogs and your stress dogs. If you've ever seen somebody carry a little dog into Walmart, that's a part of an animal service program. They can actually help people in wheelchairs bring in groceries and stuff like that. Now that you understand the psychotherapeutic benefits, let's talk about the cardiac benefits. In a 2011 article entitled Pets, Humans, Health, Psychological Well-Being by Harold Herzog, stroking dogs and cats, watching tropical fish, caressing boa constrictors can help reduce blood pressure and stress. Um, stress. Stress can cause a variety of illnesses like cardiac illnesses. Um, oh, stress has, or petting my animals has actually helped me reduce stress personally. I had my wisdom teeth out later this year, and I don't do well with needles. I've had traumatic experiences as a kid. So my dogs actually helped me calm down after my surgery and before my surgery going in. Um, I lost my father 10 years ago, and I owned a pet. And pets grieve just like we do. And my dog grieved with me and helped me feel that source of companion because everybody grieves differently. So my mother was withdrawn from me because she needed to grieve herself. And so my dog helped me grieve my father's death. Petting can help cardiac patients, it's not just dogs and cats, but other animals as well, such as fish. According to Gunter and Furnham in the book, also mentioned in the book Pets and People, the Psychological of Pet Ownership in 1999, looking at aquariums can cause hypnotic effects for people and reduce blood pressure. As you can see, there are a lot of benefits to owning a pet, and they can outweigh the side effects that prescription drugs can cause and be a lot more beneficial than prescription drugs such as Xanax and Valium. So we have discussed the stress problems in America, what draws us to our pets, the psychotherapeutic benefits of our animals, as well as the cardiac benefits of our animals. With that being said, I'm going to leave you with a quote from a French poet named Anatole France, which is, "Until you own a pet, a part of your soul remains unawakened."